Hey guys, my name is Marta, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Zora Neal Hurston's The Art of Watching God. This is a modern classic by an Afro-American author, and it was written in the 30s. The book tells the story of Janie, who at the beginning of the book goes back to this town and starts telling her story of what happened after she left. After that very brief introduction, we jump back to Janie's childhood and we get to see how she grew up, raised by her grandmother, who was a slave for a white family. And we get to see how the way her grandmother raised her, the values she taught her, made her want to fight for a better life and made her not be happy with what she is given by her grandmother to have an easy life, which is a husband. Starting from that point, we see in this novel how Janie goes from marriage through marriage until he finds someone he loves and with whom he is happy. The book is very unique in its portrayal of marriage because it doesn't only tell the story of a woman but of a black woman, and it's a book that is against all the prejudices that were present in other novels written by men. This book, as I said, is about Janie's quest for love, basically, and about her growing up and getting to know the world and the society she lives in. With her first two marriages, she isn't successful and she ends up feeling trapped and being not very well treated by her husbands. None of them allow her to have a life. Her second one especially doesn't allow her to participate in the community's traditions or celebrations they do because she's supposed to be a housewife and he's supposed to stay at home taking care of the animals and of the house. But as you can probably guess, Janie, who's been told from her childhood that living like that would be her easy way to escape from slavery, isn't happy with that. And after her second husband dies, sorry if that's a spoiler, he finally marries Tea Cake, who is a man from a lower class but with whom he will finally find the happiness he was wishing for. The book, as you can probably guess by this brief summary, is about Janie's quest for happiness and emancipation in two ways. On the one hand, it's about her quest for love, her quest for find someone who loves her and who he loves, and not only in terms of making her own decisions as of finding love, but with being able to participate in life, to have a voice and to have something to say and to do in the life he has chosen. Besides those two main plots that the book is known for, the book is also very rich in terms of culture. The author was an anthropologist and he spent a lot of time studying different Afro-American communities and Jamaican, I think, also, and their cultures. And the book is very rich culturally in terms of how the characters act, how they behave, and how they view life, something that is seen not only through the way they speak, because the book is written in dialect, so not normal English, and that is a struggle in its own for someone who is not a native speaker like me, and probably also for native speakers, but for me it was one of the biggest challenges I had while reading the book. But also through what the characters do. The book doesn't really have a plot that goes beyond the two themes that I just mentioned, so the story moves forward in terms of the characters doing different things, and that is when you really get to know the community, when you really get to know the culture, and that is something that I really enjoyed reading about, even though our main character was left out of these activities for almost half of the story. But anyway, the book is also very rich in terms of imagery. Zora Neal Hurston's writing style is not only rich in terms of how she uses language and how she emulates this dialect, but also on creating this very beautiful atmosphere that makes you feel as if you were there. The book reads, as many people say when they review it, as a fairy tale, and it's not only a fairy tale in terms of our main character looking for her own happiness, but also on the images set. The book is filled with songs, with music, and it feels fantastical in its own unique way. It's also very rich in religious imagery, or at least that's what Sadie Smith said in the introduction, but I completely missed most of that because I do not have a religious background. But I would like to reread this with that in mind to fully get the story. As I was saying, the book is very rich in terms of imagery. It reads like a fairy tale. It really puts you there in this environment, and that is something that you do not get from any book. That is something that I always appreciate in the stories I read. And last thing I want to talk about before giving a brief overview to end the video are the characters with the dialogues that I mentioned a lot of times already. The author makes you able to get to know every single person that shows up in the story. The characters all have their own voice, their own personality, and even if they only show up for a brief period, you really get to know them and you really get to see how they view the world, how they act, who they are, and that is something that's very unique. That is something that I like. I like books when they feel real, and that is something that makes them do so. So that's something that I really appreciated. So overall, what do I have to say about this book? The book was fantastic. I really liked it. I really liked its themes. I really liked that the story was simple enough for someone who hasn't read much Afro-American fiction, even though that is something that I'm trying to fix. It's fantastic. I really recommend it. It's simple but at the same time hard because of the language. It's simple but complex because it has way more that I was able to grasp on this first read, which is why I'm looking forward to rereading it hopefully soon. Yeah, I do recommend it. Please read it if you are looking for something that is not only beautifully written but also beautiful story-wise. Read it for some inspiration on the importance of perseverance and on the importance of focusing on realizing what one wants the most. So that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you read this book or if you read anything else by Zora Neal Hurston. If you have done so, please tell me what should I read next from her. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I hope you're also amazing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!